What's the weirdest past you thought would never catch you? When I was a kid, video games were my whole world, and they weren't just fun, but a way of life. So, late night sessions with my friends turned into early mornings, and we would trash talk strangers, scream at each other in voice chat, and throw around the wildest threats without thinking twice because it felt normal and safe, and everyone said stupid stuff online, but nobody really meant it. Back then, I had this rival player named Shadow Knight who kept beating me in ranked matches, and every time he won, he'd send these long voice messages about how trash I was, and how he'd destroy me in real life if we ever met. So naturally, I fired back harder, telling him I'd find his address and make his life miserable, and we'd go back and forth for hours until our parents made us get off. But one night, I got so mad after losing that I actually tried to find him. I spent hours digging through his profile, cross-referencing usernames, and somehow found his real name was Marcus Chen from Arizona, and I was so proud of myself that I sent him a message with his full name and told him I knew exactly who he was and where he lived. He went silent after that and never messaged me again. I thought I'd won, but really I just made the biggest mistake of my gaming life. Years passed, and I forgot all about Shadow Knight. Gaming became less important as work and real responsibilities took over, and I moved states for college, then again for my first job. Eventually, I met Sarah at a coffee shop, and she was perfect, funny, smart, and understood my weird sense of humor. After 6 months of dating, she said it was time I met her family. Her dad was coming to town for business, and she wanted us all to have dinner together. She was nervous but excited and kept saying how much they'd love each other. The night came, and I showed up to the restaurant early with flowers, ready to make a good impression. Sarah waved me over to their table, and I walked up with a huge smile. But when her dad turned around, my stomach dropped to the floor. It was Marcus Chen, the same face I'd spent hours staring at online 12 years ago. Shadow Knight, the guy I'd threatened over Xbox Live when we were kids. He looked at me for a long moment, then smiled and reached out his hand. But instead of shaking it, he leaned in close and whispered, "I told you I'd destroy your life." That's when I realized this wasn't a coincidence. Sarah wasn't random. Her dad had spent 12 years planning this, and I'd walked straight into his trap.